Hello and thank you for tuning in to Millennium Media. So some very exciting news here for VHS fans. We have the full cast as well as the overarching story details and the segment details for the stories that we're going to be seeing throughout this film. We're going to go over all of that right now. This is according to a brand new Deadline article that released just about an hour ago. So let's waste no time. Let's get right into this. We know that Fantastic Fest in Austin next month in September is where people are going to see VHS 85 for the first time. But the rest of us who aren't so lucky to attend that, we have to wait till when it releases on Shudder sometime in October. We don't know the official release date, but we know it will be sometime in October. When we get the official release date, rest assured, I will let you know on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and get into the cast and as well as the overarching story and the story segments for VHS 85. So Emmy nominee Freddie Rodriguez is set to lead the cast. He's going to be portraying a detective by the name of Wayne Johnson, a seasoned detective who is investigating a variety of gruesome murders while on the trail of an elusive serial killer. So again, that is the overarching narrative that's going to, tie together all the different segments that we get throughout the VHS film. We've come to expect this by now with, anthology horror films and especially in the VHS franchise. Now, that's sort of been where, the VHS films have sort of lacked the most, is the overarching stories never seem to be as interesting as the individual segments that come, along with them. But here, I love this, I love this premise. I love this setup, right? I mean, a detective in the 80s who's searching for a serial killer and he's finding probably all these weird different VHS tapes. I love it. It works for this, and I'm really happy to hear that that's the direction that they seem to be going with. Now, the rest of the cast is rounded out by actors like, I'm going to try and pronounce everyone's names here, so please forgive me if I get them wrong, but they're joined by actors by the names of Jordan Belfi, James Ranson, who I'm very excited to see because I loved him in the first Sinister movie, even in the second Sinister movie, which is not as good as the first, and he was really good in the both chapters of the recent Stephen King It movie adaptations. We also got Danny DT, Rolando Davila Bertran, Justin Jones, Marcio Moreno, Ari Gallegos, Forrest Hartle, Duffy McManus, Eric Pearson, Felipe de Lara, Tom Reed, and Vivian Morse. So a very, very diverse cast. I'm loving the Mexican and Hispanic and just Latin representation that we're seeing here. I'm really happy to see that as a fellow Hispanic man myself. But VHS is going to be taking viewers on a journey into the grim underbelly of the forgotten 1980s, unveiled through a made-for-TV documentary. 5 chilling tales emerge. So here we go. Scientists observe an unusual boy fixated on his TV. Kids embark on a lake skiing adventure. A TV crew fights to survive a natural disaster. The early days of VR awaken something terrifying, and a deadly dream is captured on tape. Sinister secrets of the 1980s come to life in ways you've never seen before. So that's, the official description that we're getting here on Deadline for what the VHS 85 segments are going to entail. Now, to me, those sound like they're all worthy entries into this movie and into the VHS franchise. I'm very curious to see, which ones are being directed by which directors because, a star-studded cast here, we got Scott Derrickson, directing a segment. We got Gigi Salguero. I'm very looking forward to seeing hers. Mike P. Nelson is another one who's, I'm very curious to see his, what his story is going to be. I'm very excited. There's a lot of hype going into VHS 85. The talent behind the screen, behind the camera, the writers attached to this, the actors attached to this, the stories that they're going to be delving into, the setting, the aesthetic of the 1980s. There is a lot of hype and a lot of goodwill, I think, right now from fans going into VHS 85, and I've really come to like the new Shudder VHS movies that have released, and I think that this one will probably be no different. I'm trying to temper my expectations though because I'm trying not to get too excited. I don't want to set myself up for feeling underwhelmed or feeling disappointed. But it's kind of hard not to feel that way right now because I'm very excited for VHS 85. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. And if you like this video, if you want to stay up to date more on the world of VHS, well, consider yourself in the right place already. And I hope you subscribe because I'd love to have you along for the ride and keep you informed. Until next time, though, this has been Millennial Media, and I will see you all very soon.